Let's have a conversation.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. How's everyone doing today? I am doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. So, I am making this post. I guess you can call it a response to all of the commentary in the last 48 hours. At first, I wasn't going to respond. I was going to leave it alone, but people keep going and they keep going and they keep going. And then I started to look at my analytics, my engagement numbers, and my monetization numbers, and realize that y'all are assisting me. So I just wanted to put some things out there for those who are new, because it's only coming from people who are either brand new or people who were silent on the page when I was talking about mental health, when I was talking about depression, when I was talking about positivity, goal setting, fitness, music, skipped all that stuff and only came up in here to talk about Jailer and try to manufacture beef that isn't there. I'll tell you something that I've learned about me and this page and why most people come to this page, because I firmly believe that this is only like a few of y'all. If y'all follow AT2, he had a post that he put up with the bug spray. He's like, I gotta get these bugs out of here because they're getting really annoying. If I had the bug spray, I would be doing that too. But yeah, I believe that that's only a few of y'all that only get drawn in by certain things. I had a guy tell me this morning that the party on Saturday was about Big D, and I made it about Joseph. And I was like, and I came in there with an agenda. I left that post up there. Hey, IJ, I left that post up there. First of all, I had a great time. I don't know why any of y'all think otherwise. I had a wonderful time. So I feel like I am now all of a sudden, I'm on Big Brother 24.5. I am an at home house guest because people are more interested in discussing me than actually talking to me about, the celebs, I guess, that I met in the building. You're more interested in me and my thoughts on everything. But I want to explain something to y'all. The reason that people started following me on this page is because they said they found me refreshing compared to the typical Big Brother, I don't know, vlogger, podcaster. They said that they've been watching the show for years and listened to a lot of different people, and they found my perspectives on everything refreshing because I don't attack the house guests. I'm not with the whole cancel everyone for everything they say. I'm very unbiased. When something is going on, good morning, China. When an incident goes on in the house, I'm very unbiased. A lot of times when people were quick to jump on this one or say, forget about this one, I was here like, let's see how this plays out. Time will tell. Time will tell. My regular followers know that. So I go to this party. I find out about this party Friday. I see the flyer for it on Friday. I'm like, this is cool. I'm thinking about going. As I said in my original recap, once I found out it was like 3 cookout members at least, I was like, yo, I'm definitely going to go. And I'm going to have a good time. And hopefully I get to speak to all of them there, which I did get to speak to those 3 that I knew were going to be there, which was awesome. And then I saw in Taylor's story that she reposted or she posted something like "see y'all there" and posted the location of that particular place. And then I saw Joe's story and he posted the same thing. He reposted the same thing. So I was like, oh, that's dope. So obviously, I was more excited that they were going to be there because if you have been following, which some of these new people have not, I'm a fan. I literally have a video up right now of a lot of us watching a 4 hour, 3 to 4 hours of live feed of Taylor preparing her final speech for the finale night. And then I have another video the next day of me watching the final decision live and celebrating. Yes, I have opinions about various things. I have opinions about various things that they say, various things that they put out, but I have never trashed her, put down the black woman. Even the post that some of y'all were talking about from the previous night about me talking about her social media and saying that she got nasty things in her DM. I was not saying that harassment of her is okay. I was merely saying I'm thinking about this in terms of how do you protect your energy and how do you protect your peace? How do you find that balance between being a superstar and fan engagement? Yeah, so let me see here. I was going to put a few things up. As to why I'm confused, but hey, I've learned some things over the last couple of days. This was the first post that I put up. Here at Derek F's birthday celebration, Tay and Joe are out here too. Obviously, I was excited about that, as well as Aza and Hannah and a few others. And this was before I had spoken to anybody, except for them, because Derek and Tiffany were the first two people I spoke to out of who was there. The next post that I put up, got a chance to meet and speak to the legend herself. Confused about where people consider that as hate, but hey, to each their own. I was excited to meet her and I was excited to speak to her. Still a little confused, but hey, y'all see what y'all see. And then I said I will definitely have a recap of my night tomorrow, probably in the AM. Got to meet and speak to Taylor, Tiff, Aza, Polly, Derek, Cinco, Hannah, and James. Only one of I didn't get a chance to talk to was Joseph. That was not an insult. That was not a dig. That was just a fact. That's the only person in the room that I didn't get a chance to speak to. Y'all are trying to manufacture beef out of nowhere. I think some of y'all want me to have a beef with Joseph. There is nothing that Joseph could see or find from me that would make him want to have a beef with me. I'd be very surprised. I would be very surprised. Oh, I'm missing all these comments. And you know what? It's no surprise that the people who are in here are not the ones that I'm talking to, but they'll catch it in the replay, I'm sure. Where are we at? Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Sheena. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Trisha. Good morning, Chocolate. Oh man, yeah, I'm glad you finally caught a live too. Y'all tell me when is a good time to start doing these lives. Because at the moment I'm doing them at this time because I have time off. I typically wouldn't be doing them at this time, but let me know. LOL, chocolate is a good feeling when I actually make a live too. Good morning, music and mental nation. I like that. Salute. Sounds like you're singing Mambo. So it's funny to me because the same thing I'm seeing online, I've had it happen to me in real life. In real life, where I'm like, why does this person have beef with me? The person who doesn't indulge in any of this negativity. Um, I don't really even be entertaining arguments with people. I hear things that people say about me, and I'm like, it's unimportant. I don't really care. Um, it's happening now online. It's happening now online. So, what I was getting to is that my people who support me asked me, what were your impressions in the room? My impressions of what happened in the room are not debatable because they're my impressions. I was in the room. And the reason they want to know my impressions of what happened in the room is because they've been watching me for hours on these live feeds that we were watching together, analyzing everything, giving my opinions on conversations that were being had. They feel like I am a level-headed person. I'm a straight shooter. I call things down the middle. So it was just an intrigue to know what my experience was in the room. The questions that I was answering is not based upon me being upset about my experience. Obviously, of all the things I said, what people are most interested in is Taylor and Joseph. So I got several questions. I put them up. You can actually see them and read them. I got several questions. That's why I was talking about that. If it was just a recap that I was doing and it wasn't live, I just would have said, I spoke to Taylor briefly and I got a couple of pictures with her and she was nice to me. And I didn't get a chance to speak to Joe. That's essentially what I said 5, 6 different times. And people said to me, they phrased it like, why do you think he didn't socialize? What do you think was going on? I expected him to be nicer based on what I've been seeing. I didn't say any of that. That was not my commentary, that he wasn't nice, that he's not a sociable person. My commentary was, I did not see him socializing with the fans in the section that I was in. That's not a lie. If at some point he came down and socialized with other fans that were not nearby me, then so be it. But that doesn't change what I saw from where I was standing. I'm not a surveillance camera. I can't surveil the whole room. I can just tell you what I saw. And if you're mad about what I saw, and if it makes you happy to see him in people's stories or wherever you saw them in people's stories, I don't really care about that. I spoke to almost everybody in there. I wasn't focused on what you guys are focusing on. That was not my primary focus of the night, to be like, oh, I could have taken videos to the people who are like, oh, you're such a weirdo. I was standing right in front of them. All those videos that you see them dancing, grinding, all that stuff, I was standing right there. I might have taken a minute worth of video of the two of them. If that was my main purpose, I wouldn't have had, they were only there for about maybe 2 hours at the most. So there's no way I could have had all those conversations that I had with Hannah, with Azza, with Polly, with Big D, with Cinco. How do you think that I spoke to everybody in the room if my main focus was to come in there and talk to Joseph? Would I have liked to be able to talk to Joseph? Sure. Did talking to Joseph make or break my night? No. Do I think Joseph is a bad person because I didn't get to speak to him? No. They tried to turn me into a house guest, y'all. They tried to turn me into a house guest. How did Mark interact with the house guests? I might as well be on Big Brother at this point. Your boy for Big Brother 24.5. Big Brother 24.5. He can dance. Chocolate, I'm probably going to get in trouble for even making any comment. The jailers are going to come for me. But yeah, I thought that Joseph wouldn't be able to dance. Uh-oh, the jailers are going to come for me in the comments for saying that. It's so frustrating when people engage to try to find a fight. Take a word or two that they read. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, I put up an hour and 20-minute video about an hour and 20-minute video. Probably if you put all the jailer parts together, it might have been 15 to 20% of the video, possibly. But that's the only thing that anyone is talking about. I said Hannah was so nice to me. I said Ozzo was the nicest person I ever met. I said I talked to Tiffany about her podcast. I said me and Cinco had conversations about the challenge and his relationship with Cash. I said I talked to Pauly D about if he's going to come back and about how he feels that Johnny is blocking him. I spoke to almost everybody. And I spoke about that. And I spoke about how great my night was. Somebody said this morning, I came in with an agenda and I didn't make it about Big D. Big D was the first person I saw walk into the building. And I was like, yo, happy birthday, Big D. And he said, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. I'm going up to the VIP, but I'm going to be back down and have some conversation. So let me tell you again, just like a shorter recap. I got into the building. They were operating on cookout time. So that means that everybody was late. So I was just in there, just hanging out, having a good time. Big D was the first person I saw walk in. Surprisingly, compared to a Challenge Mania event, Challenge Mania events, when people from the show walk in, the fans mob them. So it wasn't really like this. It was kind of more of a casual vibe, at least at that point in time. So he came in, he kind of said hi to a few people really quick. I said hi to him. And like I said, I told him happy birthday. And then he went to the back. He stayed there for a little bit. Tiffany and Hannah came in. And I spoke to Tiffany. I didn't get to speak to Hannah at the beginning. Hannah went to the VIP section. And then Big D was thanking me for coming. Yeah, Big D and I spoke to, there was a guy who said, oh, you didn't come for Big D. You missed the mark and you made it about something else, about Joseph, when it was supposed to be about Big D. So I posted that video on purpose to be like, what are you talking about? Big D actually, I posted it on my Instagram and Big D actually loved the post. I posted that same video that I put on YouTube on my Instagram 2 days ago, and he loved the post. So people are just talking just to talk. Mark, the more you rub shoulders with the alum, the better chance you have to get in that house. Do it, Mark. I'm kind of joking. A lot of you have been telling me, like, you should apply for Big Brother. And half of me is like, you know what? That would be kind of cool to be on Big Brother. But the other half is like, if people are like this with me now, just mark that they don't even know. They're mad that I was in the building with two people from the season. Imagine what they would be like with me in the house. I mean, it would boost my profile. For sure, it would get me a lot of followers. But man, some of these people are annoying. People telling me that I did not have a good time. That is weird. that is weird to tell me that I did not have a good time at that function. Did it look like I wasn't having a good time? Because maybe y'all were watching different pictures and seeing different videos or seeing it in different ways, but I had a great time. I had a great time. If they had another one in my area, I would be there again. Yeah, my Instagram is the same. My Instagram is the same. People were telling me that I was, yeah, I am exercising the block button. People were telling me that I was sneaking videos and sneaking pictures of them. And I'm like, if I'm having a whole conversation with somebody and I'm on the video and they're on the video, never mind. Things don't have to make sense for people to run with them. Things don't have to make any kind of sense. Who do I think I am? Good morning, Rory. How are you? I'm glad you asked that question, Van Hoot. Even though I know you're being sarcastic, I'm glad you asked that question. Because I did actually want to answer that. I made the headline the way that I made it on purpose. I was actually going to do it in a different way, but I was like, nah, and even though I know that would get more views, that's not necessarily my style to do it that way. So I kind of changed it up a little bit. So for those who don't regularly follow me, people like my perspectives because the majority of what you see, and it's not everybody, because there's a few pages that I know and follow that are not like this, but a lot of people wait for something to latch onto in terms of if a house guest makes a certain comment or if they're talking about a certain subject, they look for those trigger points. And then their whole page is centered around that person. This person is this. This person is that. This person is this. I don't do that, okay? I don't do that because I don't want my page to be about bashing anyone. I don't want my page. There's people right now from Big Brother 24 that I have just stopped talking about because I'm like, nothing positive can come out of those conversations about those people. So I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't do things for views. Now, with that being said, I'm going to get to these comments really quick. Don't even bother trying to figure out their logic because there isn't any for sure. Some people just hear what they want to hear. And they're trying to, by the way, yeah, that's true, Ashley. They're trying to create a beef with me and Joseph. They want me and Joseph to be beefing. They want me and Joseph to beef. Your regulars are excited to say, yeah, absolutely. And as I've been looking at the comments, it's not anyone who regularly follows my page or anything like that. It's all these new people who came just for the drama. You know, I'll say, I was actually surprised by the commentary because I made my posts and then I made my video live and then I posted my stuff on Instagram. Like I said, I got love from Big D. I got a personal message from Hannah thanking me. I got responses from, who's the other person? Big D, Hannah. There was somebody else. But anyways, my stories had the most views that they have ever had, ever. My Instagram stories. And I was very happy about how the night went. And then, like, a couple of these weird comments got in there. And next thing you know, those people just started flooding my comments. And I was like, huh? I'm a little confused. You want to know how your content is You want to know how your content is timeless and built to last? It's because you focus on the bigger picture stuff. Yes, thank you. I'm good. Just trying to understand what the problem was and why you're being hated on for attending Derek F's party. I'm trying to figure it out too, Rory, but there's no logical explanation for it. Went there, had a good time, and spoke to everybody. Everybody liked me there. And everyone is choosing to focus on me saying that I didn't speak to Joseph. And they're telling me, oh, all these fan pictures of him on the floor. Great. What does that mean? Okay. He came down at some point that I didn't see. Why are we still talking about that? We had such deep conversations here. Absolutely. Taylor has enough love to go around. And again, nobody even focused on that fact that I said I had a great conversation with Taylor. I told her how I admired her. I even put that in my post that I told her that I admired her and for what she withstood during the season. She was talking to me, and I even showed her my I Am the Point shirt, which she loved. And I was very happy about that. Oh, I have to put this in order. Chada, that gorgeous woman asking the solid podcast questions. It was here too, Rory, but I've deleted a lot of it. It was on Instagram, but it was here too. I have some of you have probably seen some of it. I've deleted the majority of it, but there's still some up there. With people trying to manufacture this beef. I'm not invested enough in any house guest to have beef with them. To have beef with a house guest, for me, would mean that I have met this person and I know them personally and they did something that affects me in some kind of personal way. Even if somebody came on here, like one of the house guests, and commented, I hate what you said in this or this video. You're so wrong. You're dead wrong. And I don't support you. I wouldn't hate them. I would be surprised because whenever I have a point, I spend a whole bunch of time explaining why I feel that way. And feel that there's no way that if somebody sat down and watched my whole explanation based on what was going on at that time, that they would be so mad that they wouldn't want to engage with me. I can't believe this is about still lunch. People need to pay attention to the second part of your brand. Yeah, they don't care about the mental health. They don't care about the music. They don't care about, the positive messages that I spread. Yeah, I mean, y'all care, so I'm not going to act like nobody cares. Y'all care. That's the reason why Big Brother has been over for 2 months. And I got monetized a month after Big Brother ended, after deleting 90% of my Big Brother videos. So people obviously don't follow me just for that. So crazy to me. It was a fun time for me. Definitely was. Folks need to find a hobby or something else to do besides their hobby is hating on people. I started to realize that their hobby is hating on people. You know what? I said this yesterday, but there was usually when I check the pages of the people who are making these comments, it's usually like random avatar and no subscribers and no videos or whatever. There was this one guy yesterday who made a comment saying I was a stalker and weird for taking unauthorized photos and videos of Jailer. So then I go to check that guy's page. To my surprise, everything on his page was Jailer Instagram, Taylor Instagram story, Joseph Instagram story, Taylor and Joseph Instagram stories from the cruise, Taylor and Joseph live feeds, every live feed of them watching every episode together, Taylor and Joseph live feeds while they were on the show. Jailer, 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 Jailer. And I would venture to say that guy has never met or spoken to either of them in his life. And the whole page is Jailer, and you are calling me a stalker for taking video of people that I was in the building with, talking to in the building. They spoke to me. They took pictures with me. Doesn't even make sense. That does not even make sense. I literally do not even pay attention to any of these BB people at all. They need to go outside for a walk. As Charmed Life said yesterday in one of my comments, these people need to go outside and touch grass. That was hilarious. They need to go outside and touch grass. Do some push-ups or something. It could benefit people. Maybe I need to give them some personal training or something. Give them something to put their mind on. Good morning, MMH family. Hey, Tammy, how are you doing? Either that or they'll not get enough of a cut ass as kids. Wow. Oh, Lord, this guy really told you to hold his beer. Yeah, it was weird because I'm like, I'm stalking them in the building. In the building. Let me tell you guys about this building. It was very small. This is not some huge, massive club where you lose sight of people. It's a very small club. So when I say that Hannah and Tiffany and Aza were on our side of the floor for the majority of the night, they were on our side of the floor for the majority of the night. I'm sure anybody who was in there would tell you the same. Like, if you ask them, who were the people you saw on the floor the most? That would be the three. The VIP section had 2 bodyguards standing there. So unless you are one of the main people who are there or somebody who's friends with them, you're not getting into that VIP section. Now, what happened was we were able to see the VIP section from where we were, and people would be calling up, hey, Taylor, hey, this person, hey, that person. Can I talk to you, or can I get a picture or whatever? And then they would leave from where they were, come down and take pictures and go back up. But the reason why I specifically pointed out Hannah, Aza, and Tiffany is because they kind of, at least an equal amount of time they spent down with us as they spent up there, which I thought was really nice. Am I saying that everyone had to be on our main floor? No. They had no obligation to us. This was Big D's party. They didn't have to talk to us. These are people that Big D invited to his party. They can do whatever they want. I'm glad that Taylor and Joseph had a good time. I had a good time, separately. Where are we at here? I'm sorry, but I'm just not that invested in people's life. I like them, what they're all doing after being. This is what I'm trying to say. I don't even follow. I follow them as in, I'm following them. But after a while, I stopped actually checking their IG stories and their posts or whatever. Because they're just living life to me at this point. Unless they do something really notable, they're just living life. If I happen to catch a post, I catch a post. If I make a post about something that's going on from Twitter, it's because, I have like some follows on BB Twitter where people repost notable things. So I will scroll through Twitter to see if there's any like notable news. There's a lot of things that I scroll past and don't make comments on anymore. Because I'm like, okay, cool. Show is over at this point. Yeah, family. Mark has a job, a career, and an actual life. Yeah, I was actually leaving my dad at the nursing home yesterday reading some of these like nasty comments, and I'm like, I'm watching somebody fight for their life and reading these dumb comments about Joseph's location in the club. In terms of importance level, down in the basement, irrelevant to me. Like, oh, you got me. There's fans that got pictures with him. Great. What does that do for you? Does that make you happy? I didn't even see most of these people, I didn't even see them defending Joe Hardbody like that during the season when he got into the jury house. They're just doing it now. I hope all of you are well. Also, it's called jealousy. They weren't there. And they were telling me about the VIP section and the floor. And I'm like, how do you even know what's the VIP section and what the floor is if you weren't in the building? Anyways, real recognize real. You're just appreciating the people who took the time to come down. And yeah, that's it. It was not a dig at anyone who didn't come down or didn't spend much time down there. It was an appreciation for those who did. And those cookout members, very nice. I'll say it again and again. Tiffany, Aza, Hannah, and Big D were extremely nice the whole night, very engaging with the fans, and they make you feel like family. Because I have been to challenge events and meeting some of the challengers wasn't as nice. I have plenty of videos and pictures from those events too, but only a few of them did I get that kind of experience that I got from those cookout members. Like they act like they treat you like you're their friend, like they've known you. And I really appreciated that. We had like regular conversations. Reminds me of the people who yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Somebody was trying to argue with me about, oh, I don't believe that you didn't know that Jayla was going to be there. If I knew they were going to be there before I got the ticket, why would I not say that? If I saw that they were going to be there, I would say, oh, guess what, guys? Jayla is going to be there. I'm not trying to play too cool for school. I did not know they were going to be there. I just saw a flyer with Big D's face on it, and it said other guests. It didn't have the names of any of the guests. It just said other guests. So the reason how I found out that Tiffany and Hannah were going to be there was because I saw some other flyer for some panel discussion that they were doing before the party. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. People become starstruck and obsessed. It's weird to me. Yeah. I'm not somebody who faints or cries and screams when I see a celeb. And I don't even want to say it this way because people will run with that comment too in the replay. But I will just say I've met other celebs that are like worldwide celebs that are very well known. And we had great conversations too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't feel excited when I see these people. I was obviously excited and I was happy, but I'm not obsessed with them. I have my own life to live. I don't have enough time to invest in what's going on in their lives like that. I was about a meter away from Tiger. Oh, really? And that must have been during his like prime time, because Tiger, I know back in the day was like MJ, both MJs, for the game of golf. Yeah, Twitter, yeah. But surprisingly, well, it's probably because I'm not that active on Twitter. I don't really get it on Twitter, but I get it on here and I get it on Instagram. I see it on Twitter though. It's just that I haven't been too active. I was impressed but wasn't going crazy. I think the celebrity that I see, This is the whole thing. Celebs are typically more cool when you are calm, cool, and collected. That's it right there. When all of them came into the building, I did not rush them. I did not press them. I did not stress them. I stayed where I was. And then when I saw opportunities where they were either passing by me or looking my direction, I just, tapped the shoulder. Hey, so and so, how are you doing? And they're like, hi, what's your name? And then I say, I had something to say to each of them. I liked when you said this or when you did that. I've followed your season of whatever, and something that stood out to me was such and such and such. And then the conversation just got going. Trust me when I say, not everybody gets the same type of engagement that I get at these events. Some people just actually walk up to them and say, hey, I'm a big fan. And then they're like, thank you for being a fan, and take a picture and walk away. That's not what happens with me. I usually have pretty long and pretty meaningful conversations with these people that I'm meeting. It does suck. The good part is I'm not on the show, so I can't be canceled in the same way. But at the same time, I do have to choose my words carefully. Sometimes I have something to say, but I'm like, they're going to take that and use it in some other way, like this Joseph thing that shocked me. Good morning, Lin. All my people are on today. That's what's up. I mean, it does present a good opportunity to offer mental health services. I can't wait till I get to this interview, that I hopefully am going to be able to do in January. I think it is going to be even better now because of my experience this weekend and this week, because I feel like it just gave me more to say to these reality stars when I actually get them on my platform. Like it gave me a little bit more of a scope and more depth. I have different questions now to add into my repertoire because I've experienced a microcosm of what they experience. Because trust me, 40, 50 people coming at me is nothing compared to the things that they get on their day-to-day. I'm sure of that. I have a friend who's a Scotty Barnes obsessed person, and when one of the main media members said, oh, he had a bad game, he made a 48-minute rant about how that person is a hack. See, this is the thing I don't like. For those who don't know, Scotty Barnes is a basketball player. So this is what I don't like. Being a fan of somebody does not mean you have to love everything they do. I'll have hours of Taylor support on my page, and I still have it on there. And if I say, oh, I don't think that she made the best game move here. Oh, I think she was playing emotionally here. Oh, I think that this puts her game in jeopardy. It's like, why are you hating on the Black Queen? I'm like, aren't we watching a TV show here? I'm confused. Or if I'm making suggestions on things that I think will help her protect her mental health. Oh, somebody told me, oh, you're just like all the other pages. Somebody even referenced a page that doesn't like me and said, I'm like that guy. They said, I'm so disappointed because I thought that you were different. And I realized that you're just like that guy because of my live that I did on Friday, making suggestions on what she should do to protect her mental health. You can't please them all, Van Hoot. You can't please them all. 2001 Bay Hill, I would be wilding, Van Hoot. If you use another example, I would be like, yeah, I can understand, I can relate. Nah, in 2001 Bay Hill Tiger, I would be wilding out. Anyways, I get your point, but that's just quite an example to use. I believe social media is an outlet for so many people to escape. Yeah, And sometimes they try to throw issues on others because they see me. They're like, why is that guy so happy? Why is that guy so positive? Let's do something. Let's run with a narrative to try to change his demeanor. As you can see, I'm still the same. I'm always going to be the same. I'm always going to be the same. And if you say something that's really out of pocket that gets me upset, I'm just going to delete it and block you. So you're not even going to get the satisfaction of seeing that reaction from me. Truly. I'm sure they appreciate that you didn't rush them. Yeah. And you know what? When I first went to my first challenge event, the people that were there were Johnny Bananas. Shoot, I can't remember all of them. Tina. There was a few of them. I can't remember all of them. I might have to review my pictures and stuff. But when they first came in, they got rushed. And I saw how that impacted them. They went back to the VIP as well, but I understood because I'm like, they just walked into the room and everyone's like, oh, Bananas, oh, this person, grabbing them, touching them, tugging on them. Let me get a picture. And they're all aggressive. And I was thinking, do I have to be that aggressive in order to interact with them? I guess I'm just not going to get to interact with them. That's how I felt at that first Challenge Mania event that I went to. And then after time had gone by, I saw them kind of come out slowly. And then I was like, oh, there's an opportunity. It looks like it's quiet around this person. I'm going to walk over to him or her and just tell them, whatever I want to tell them and go from there. And it seemed like that approach, made them more interested in engaging with me than the average person. And that's why things went how they went at this event, because I've kind of gotten used to that. I lost my spot in the comments. Let me see. It's very sad. Introspection is one of the most important things you can do in your life. Absolutely. Big Brother is going to be wild next season, y'all. My page is going to be wild during the Big Brother season because I was only doing this for a month. And this is what happened in a month. So I know. You'll get so used to it that you won't even care to address it anymore. You know what, Lisa, though? You're right. But I'll tell you, to be honest with you, part of why I'm addressing it now is because any podcaster or whatever knows there's a lot less to talk about during the Big Brother off season. That's the time when the things are the most on fire. So I said, instead of posting my regular stuff for right now and having people drop comments about this that are unrelated to what I'm talking about, why don't I just go with the flow for the time being and address it here, get whatever numbers that I get from people watching this for love, for hate, for whatever they're watching it for. And then whenever it dies out, because it will die out, people are not going to be talking about me saying Joseph didn't talk to me for a year. It's just not going to happen. They're going to find something else. Jailer is going to be somewhere else. And they're going to find the next person to talk about or, harass. I don't even really want to use the term harassment because it's not that crazy to me, but I love Taylor, but if she ran over a puppy, and that's the whole thing. Some of these people, if she ran over that puppy, they would be arguing with you they would want to fight you to the death for saying that she's wrong for running over that puppy. Right, Roy Van, who people project their personality onto others, good or bad, then it attracts others with the same issues too. There's channels like that. Not going to name names because I will never name those names again. But y'all who are watching from those channels know what I'm talking about. 100% facts. It is. It's exactly what Taylor went on through in the house, where it's like, and it's ironic that I spoke to Taylor about her experience in the house on that exact thing. It's just like when people were doing this telephone game where she said one thing and they flipped it and turned it into something else and ran with it. And then she was sitting there like, what? How am I being attacked right now? What am I being attacked for? The only difference is, fortunately, online. Fortunately, I'm not in a house with any of these people. I can block them and never have to speak to them again. And then I can block the next account that they make, where they make the same comment under the other account. If she wants to kick it after the charges go through, I'll put some money on the commissary. Good parallel. I agree. Appreciating someone and being a diehard blind fan are very different. And that's the whole thing. I don't even want any of y'all to be mad. You haven't seen me doing a call to action for y'all to jump on all these people. Like, yo, get them. Get these trolls up out of here. No, I will address it myself. If you feel compelled to respond, I will not stop you. However, I started talking and that felt like a Monty answer. You know the answer that Monty gave Taylor when she was saying that she wants to throw Turner in? And he was like, I can't throw Turner in because of my allegiances. But if you want to win and put Turner in, I won't stop you. That's what I felt like just now. I am not asking any of you to jump on any of these trolls because I can handle them myself. But if you feel so compelled to let them know who Mark is, feel free. I will not stop you. I don't want anyone to be my diehard blind fan. If I say something that you think is offensive or I'm wrong or you don't rock with it, let me know. We can talk about it. I'll have a whole conversation with you about it. It's an energy thing. You just gotta not care, be cool, calm, collected. People legit do not know how to be cool, and it starts with not caring and just being chill, enjoying your life. Yep, this is true. One thing I've learned, people of celebrity appreciate your consideration. They will be more apt to hold conversations. They're watching how you move. Yeah, I agree. True. Use it for what it is. The views and nasty comments help the algorithm. They do. They actually do. My page, you know what's so funny? Not only has those few videos that I've been posting about the event and the post-event stuff gotten the most views that I've had in months, but also I went back to check all my other videos. All of them, there's videos that had like 100 views that have 400 views now. There's videos that had 220 views and now they're at 678. So it's like, I think that some of these people went back to try to find ammo in things that I have said prior and boosted up my numbers. So thank you for that. And also, I'm a person who stands on my word to the nth degree. There's nothing that I put on my page or say on my page, including when I'm saying it live, that I would back down from or shy away from ever. Because I mean what I say and I say what I mean. Period. Thank goodness there are cameras so people can do the replay thing. Right, Tammy? They're like talking to regular people with good things to say. Good morning from Chino Hills, California. Good morning. It's the same energy with dating. You don't just go crazy trying to chase someone and be all up in their space. Yeah. Good chat. I have to go and have an amazing day. You have an amazing day too, Rory. Catch up with you soon. Yes, Lisa. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I said this about energy leeches too. They always come for the people who have a positive light around them. An energy leech cannot leech energy from another energy leech. They're both leeches. So when they see a page that is about negativity, drama, whatever, they're not going to bother that page because there's nothing that they can gain from that page because that page is already in the same space as them. But if they see somebody like me, they're like, this guy is different. This guy is positive. This guy does not get into the toxicity and the drama. I want to take that energy away from him so that he can be like one of us. And I guarantee you, if I flipped it up and switched it up and changed who I was, those people would be excited. The job would be done. But I'm the same person on the internet that I am in real life. So you're never going to see that unless you saw me change up in my real life, which I refuse to do. If social media ever got to the point where it impacted my life that much, I would just stop immediately. I can't handle this. It's changing my life in a bad way. I'm out. That would happen before you saw an online switch up. It's just not how I operate. Because whatever you put your energy in, it's an investment. It's an investment. The more you invest into the negativity, is the more that's what you're going to get out of life. Where are we here? My aunt says emotional vampires. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. But yeah, I guess that was my answer. That was my response. I'm sure these comments are still going to keep coming in because there's no end. But like I said, it's going to die out. Oh, no, I'm definitely not losing the fire at all. My posts are going to resume as I've been doing this whole summer, this whole start of the fall, winter, getting into the winter. I'm still going to have the same energy, the same type of posts that I had before. Those people are going to fall off until I go to the next event because there's going to be other events that I go to. And I'm going to be talking to these people again. And I'm going to be recapping my night again. And there's going to be people watching the whole recap just to find one comment that they can take and expand. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's like cut and pasted versions of what I said out there sent to these people. I would not be surprised. Goodbye, everyone. I have to go to work now. See you later, Ashley. Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, it's not going to change my energy at all. This was happening during the season 2. People were giving me all these comments during the season 2. It's just that there was so much happening with the live feeds that I didn't even have the energy or the time to address that, because before I even got a chance to respond to the comment, there was some bear heat going on. There was some racism going on, or there was some kind of crazy thing happening, or someone had shifted the game in some monumental way. So I was already on to the next comment before even addressing the last. It's hard to really say if it was worse, because I feel like I'm able to pay attention to it more now because there's less traffic on my page. So it's hard for me to really say whether it was worse or better, because right now there's not that same kind of Big Brother constant traffic. So I actually have time to sit and read every comment. I have time to read every single comment. Now, I will say, the one and only thing that I would say did bother me is being called a stalker. That was the only thing. Like, otherwise, it was pretty much similar to what was being said during the Big Brother season about, oh, your opinions, whatever, all that kind of stuff that people are saying. But that one thing was like, what are you talking about? That's the only part. That's the only part that bothered me, for real. Hello, Mark. Hello, everyone. I'm driving, but I'm going to listen and hope everyone has a good day. Hi, Victoria. Yeah, that's the only part. But I talked to enough of y'all yesterday and the day before. Like, that's a stupid comment. How can you stalk somebody that knows you're there, is talking to you, standing there talking to you, taking pictures of you, taking pictures with you, and knowing that you're getting a video with them, likely to put on your page? That's stupid. That's silly. As if I was in the corner of the room somewhere, just sniping these pictures and not engaged. Like, I spoke to everybody. I bet you if you spoke to 15, 20 random people in the room, they saw me there. They knew I was there. They saw me speaking to these people. They saw me speaking to all these people. So that's just a dumb comment that was meant to throw me off, get me upset. It annoyed me a little. I'll give you that. But generally, these comments they don't have a lot to say. They don't have a lot else to say. So they try to find the one or two things. Like I've said to Van Hoot before, people look for low-hanging fruit things to talk about. So it's a low-hanging fruit to dig through my commentary and focus on this Joseph part, or to say, oh, why do you expect them to go talk to you? They don't have any obligation to you. I never said they did. I just said I'm a fan and wanted to talk to as many of them as possible. I wish that I could have spoken to Joe, but my life, it didn't change at all from not talking to Joe. Let's say I went to an event and it was just Joe and Taylor there, and I only was able to talk to Taylor and I wasn't able to talk to Joe. Well, I would still be happy I got to talk to Taylor anyways, but I would be very disappointed. Like, why didn't Joe talk to me? But if I'm at an event with like 15, 16 people there, and I talk to the majority of them and miss out on one conversation with one guy, it's a great night. I've been to Challenge Mania events that had 10 plus people from the show and spoken to like 5, 6 of them. And I had a great night. You never know what's going to happen. They're not my personal friends. So I don't expect to talk to any of them. I just say, I hope that I get the opportunity at some point during the night to talk to these people. And as y'all clearly saw, I had several opportunities to speak to the majority of them, and it was a great night. Yeah, I'd be surprised if you were complaining if it was just you and Taylor. I wouldn't either. But if Joe was wanting to interact, that's it. That's pretty much it. Like, if I could have talked to Joe, that would have been cool. That would have been like, wow, I actually spoke to every single person in the room. So maybe to some people, to the ones that aren't trolls, maybe it sounded like I was saying, oh yeah, everybody was engaging and nice and friendly except Joe, where it was more like, I just didn't get a chance to speak to Joe. I don't know why. I didn't even give a hypothesis. I read some of y'all comments out and said that could be the reason. I said maybe he just came there for a date night with Tate. Maybe, they were kind of burnt out. They have so many different obligations and they just came. I even said on that first live that I did, maybe they came just on behalf of Big D. He was like, come have a good time. I have a VIP section. You guys can stay up there as long as you want. You can choose to come down if you want. You don't have to. just come and have fun because they're all friends. I don't care. I was happy that they were having a good time because I know it's a stressful position to be a celebrity. These people are trying to stress me, and I don't walk outside and everyone's like, "Hey, it's Mark from the podcast, from the Music and Mental Health podcast." I mean, people know me in my local community, but it's not like I'm a celeb, and people are trying to stress me as if I'm a celeb. That's what's up. Offer my future commissary position. Joe can do the paperwork since he's a lawyer. You know what? It's gonna be funny. I didn't. I don't think that I've mentioned this on my page. It's crazy you're even giving excuses, not sounding upset, and still people choose to try to roast you. Yeah, it's funny. Like I have recently been in contact with Joe's people. I don't know whether I would ever get an interview with Joe, but if I got an interview with Joe, these people would be so mad. His people have responded to me, so they want to fuel a fire that doesn't exist. Precisely. There is no fire with me. I don't hate Joe. I don't hate Taylor. I like both of them. Some of y'all sat up with me all night watching Taylor epically put together that speech with that wine glass in her hand. And some of y'all were right there watching the finale, the end of the finale with me and watching her speech. My reaction to her speech is still up there. You know how much money they would get doing a celebrity boxing, even though the boxing itself would probably be whack, as most celebrity boxing is. If it was a money thing, boy, they would get a lot of attention. Maybe I should try to get a celebrity boxing with Joe, since I hate him apparently. I don't even know enough about Joe not to like him, to be honest with y'all. I don't even know enough about Joe. Yeah, that was epic. Had a blast with you that night watching Taylor live. Yes, yes. And then I even had a recap where we watched some of that live again recently, I think a couple Saturdays ago. Well, at least you made a connection. We support you. I hope you get Joe's interview and many more. You had a great night. I did. I have a couple of things coming up that I'm sure a lot of these, I'm not even going to reference them anymore, but I have a lot of things coming up in the month of December. I even have a workout coming up that I'm going to have recorded with a challenger, with somebody from MTV's The Challenge. I got a jet, but I also have an interview coming up. I'm gonna mention it because I already told you guys with Wes Bergman. If anyone knows who Wes Bergman is, I'm gonna have Wes Bergman on here. I got a jet, but I'm super happy you got a chance to get out there. And you know what? Because of y'all, I was going to these things. I went to I think 3 or 4 Challenge Mania events just as a fan. Like there was no purpose to me going. There was no purpose to me going aside from just I want to go have a good time. And now I've so with my page here, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my page when the Big Brother season ended. And one of my friends gave me a suggestion. They said, don't stray too far from the things that you normally do and you normally enjoy. Just find a way to capture those things in between while you're doing that. So that's why you see when the season ended, I started putting up more fitness posts because I still will go in there and complete my whole workout, but I will make sure that I come in there with my camera so that I can capture 3 to 5 minutes of one set or two sets of an exercise or something. I'll still go to these events that these reality TV stars host and have, right? But I will come in there with the intent that at some point, if the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to capture footage of me. I have friends, I have people that offer to help me with this. So it's not just me either. I have people that help me capture the footage that you see of me talking to people, taking pictures or whatever. Because I have a lot of people in my corner. I really do. Forget all these other haters, trolls, whatever. I have a lot of people. I have a lot of good people in my corner. All of you on here and people in my personal life that are willing to do whatever to help me succeed. And that's why I keep going. That's why I'm never going to let those people knock me off, make me quit. I've never quit at anything in life. I'm not a quitter. I'm, in fact, learning how to use this attention to my advantage. They don't even understand that they're assisting. I have gained, 73 followers. My page was gaining like 3 to 5 followers per week during the last month or so. I gained 73 followers from Sunday till today in 2 days. And I'm not a page with 10,000 followers. So gaining 73 followers in 2 days is a lot. Even if 50 of those followers came just to talk mess, you're still on the list of followers. Boxing is so barbaric. Maybe they can do celebrity basketball, softball. I can't do the arm wrestling anymore. Softball, basketball, or bowling, I would do that. Maybe Monty should stay away from b-ball. Y'all remember when he was shooting the what was he? He was throwing things in the garbage and he kept going, Kobe, and he kept missing. That was pretty funny. Monty versus Joseph celebrity boxing match, maybe a good possibility. One of these days, y'all, I'm going to be hosting my own event. And some of these reality stars are going to come to that event on behalf of me. And people are going to be extremely mad at that point. Extremely mad. Y'all think it can't happen? I've seen it happen. There's podcasters that I have met at reality TV events that have these challenger and Big Brother people on speed dial. They just got in contact with them to do the interview, and now they have their phone numbers. That's already the case for me with 2 people from MTV Challenge. I can contact them whenever, call them, talk to them. I haven't gotten there with Big Brother yet. This is the first time I met any Big Brother people. But as they have more events, they're going to get familiar with seeing me. And it's a possibility that I'm going to be able to pass out my contact info, get in contact with them. They're going to see that I'm different. And they're going to see that I'm a person who is worth engaging with and supporting. And I will do the same for them. And, that's my lane. I feel like that's my lane. And I would invite y'all. Like, you can come to this event. Joseph will be my first invite. Joseph and Taylor. I'll invite Jailer so I can meet all the trolls that come on here just for that. You can all meet me in person, but they probably wouldn't come. They would just find things to put in the comment section. Yes, you will, Mark. That would be so fun. I wouldn't mind watching with the poor guy. Who doesn't stand a chance, Monty? I don't know. Monty is kind of sexy even when he misses. Here we go with Monty again. This is what y'all were saying when I was making fun of him during the season. Oh man. By the way, I've been in Taylor's position in life. I'm not talking about now, but I've actually been in her position in life. And that is the reason. I didn't get a chance to really go in depth with her, but that's why I told her that I have an admiration for her, because when I was growing up, I went to a school. You're cracking me up, Donna D. You are cracking me up. You are cracking me up. But anyways, I was in a situation. I was in a school where I was, I think, the only black guy in my class. And yeah, I just remember many situations. I'm not really even going to get into it now because I want that to be its own story and its own post. But just a SparkNotes version is I've been in places where people feared me for my skin color. And because of that, they misconstrued certain things, gave me harsh punishments for things that I shouldn't have been punished for, microaggressions, treating me differently than the other students. So immediately when I saw what was happening with Taylor and her environment, it was resonating with me. That's why I was like, I hope that this girl is able to make it far in this game. I didn't think that she was based on what happened in the first couple of weeks. But as she started to get her feet entrenched in the ground, I got behind her just like everyone else. And I'm so happy for all the success that she's had. But even having said that, I still stand by my comments. I hope that she finds the right balance with the social media to where she's able to maintain, the things that she does, the places that she goes and all that, and the interactions, but also maintain her mental health at the same time, because without mental health, you have nothing. I've been in positions where I lost my job due to being pushed beyond my limits and not being able to set the boundary to be like, not right now. Enough is enough. I need a break. That's it. I still feel that way. I stand by that. That's not a negative comment at all. Taylor is a superstar of all superstars. So sad to hear that. And you guys will hear more about it because I'm going to talk more about that. I am actually going to talk. This is also a reason why I like doing lives, because when I just record the video and put up the video, I don't get the same kind of commentary as when people are interjecting live while I'm talking, because I have a notepad. Well, I've showed you guys my notepad before, but things that you guys say to me that I think are topics that I can use for later, I write them down. Or even if it's not a topic that I can use for later, maybe you give me a piece of advice, or maybe you give me a saying or something, a positive quote, something like that. I write them down and I review them later and see what I can do with them. Oh, good morning, Bev. Taylor was so strong in that house in such a feminine way. Yeah, and she was saying that on Saturday in the building. She was saying that as a dark-skinned black woman, they attached like a stigma to being strong. Like, you guys know, like, the stigma is combative and like bitchy, those kind of things. And when it's really just strong shouldn't be an insult in that way. Yes, balance and stop trying to please the stands. Tammy, the jailer stands are just as bad to me as the jailer haters. I mean, not even the jailer stands. Let's say the Taylor stands, because let's be real. Taylor's the one that has all the fans. Like, there's Joseph fans too, but the Joseph fan, there's no J Hive. There's a Tay Hive. There is a Tay Hive, and the Tay Hive is toxic. And I know I've seen interviews where Taylor kind of says, "Oh, I don't want you to come for this person. I don't want you to come for that person." But I appreciate you doing that. But I appreciate you feeling passionately about me. I think that it's because she's not necessarily tapped in to what these Tay Hivers do. I think if she was really experienced what it's like to be on the other side of the Tay Hive specifically, she would see that they're doing a lot of the same things as the Daniels of the world, but just on the opposite side. Where are we at here? Our parents try so hard to do what's right for the children. They don't realize that sending. Yeah, listen, this is a whole topic. This is a whole topic, because for sure, I know that my parents sent me to that white school with the intent of me getting a better education and having a better life. But it's kind of a twofold problem, Donna D, because it actually might have been a better school, because, certain black schools are in more impoverished areas and don't have the same kind of opportunities, the same quality of educators, and the same level of books and whatever, different things that happen in those areas. However, it was definitely had emotional impact on me, certain situations that I went through in that school, for sure. Another one of my favorite things about your channel, the conversation grow and evolve as the video goes on. I actually like I came on here with only the intent to just do videos, and I was terrified of doing live feeds. That's why I never did a YouTube live feed before August. And now this is my favorite thing about the channel. Just hop on here, talk to y'all, and see where it goes. As a PWI grad, I thrived educationally in that atmosphere. I had serious issues due to colorism at an HBCU. Interesting. I had a situation that I talked about in my channel, which I'm going to give a Spark Notes version, but maybe I'll do a whole live about it at some point. But when I was in elementary school, there was this kid in my class. He wasn't in my class. He was a class behind me. He was younger than me. And that was the first person who ever called me the N-word. And he said it to my face. And he said it in many different variations. N-word lips, N-word hair. The white part of your hand is the best part of your hand. He was just direct with it. And he was like, I don't know, 8, 9. So he had to have gotten that from his house, which I later found out he did get from his house. And he was doing this for weeks. And I was just telling him, like, leave me alone. And then one day, he just caught me at the end of my rope with that because he wasn't stopping. And I remember we were walking outside, it's an N-word something, and I just had it. And I grabbed him by this collar and like shoved him against the brick wall outside. I was like, you ever call me that again? And I remember his mom happened to pull up to the school right at that moment when I was about to slug this guy. And I let him go. There was a crowd around us as if I had just grabbed him out of nowhere and let him go. And then I remember him running to his mom and crying. He was like, oh my God, he was bullying me, blah, blah, blah. And I remember going to the principal's office. He was in there, his mom was in there, my mom was in there, and I was in there. And his mom was basically calling me barbaric and said that I had been threatening him physically for months, which I had never threatened him physically, and I had never at that point in my life ever was even in a fight, or not a real fight, maybe like a play fight, but I had never been in any kind of serious fight at that point in my life. So they said that I was bullying him, and they told me that he didn't get in trouble. I got suspended. And I had to apologize to him. And in my heart, I felt like I didn't want to do that, but my mom didn't want me to not be a part of that school anymore. And nowadays, I think that I would have been more protected, I believe. And even if I wasn't, we could have stirred up a social media storm. But that was my first taste, I feel like, of the system and how it works. Yeah. It is so sad that colorism has been embedded into our psyche since slavery, the house, and field. And those looking closest to the colonizers got the privileges. Yeah, so my whole point of saying that was that they acted in the school after that like I was a bully. And that was an easy narrative to run with because I was one of one. There wasn't anyone else in my class. With my skin color. There was a few in the school. There was a few others in the school. But basically, my point is, there was only a few black people in the school. Black people made up 10% of the school, maybe. So it was very easy to run with that narrative just because of how I look. It's automatically, oh, he looks this way, and we have evidence. Because this is what they said to me. The same way how I'm so detailed now in explaining myself, where people have been coming for me, and I'm like, I said what I said. Here's every detail of what happened. I was that way when I was a kid too. I was very detailed and meticulous as a kid. So I said, this is everything that this boy said to me. He said this here. He said this at recess. He said this in the classroom. He said this on the playground. He said this here. He said this on the bus. He said this here. And he said this here. To me, it was way too detailed for them to really believe that it wasn't true. And it was so specific. Where else would I get that kind of specific racism stuff from as at that age when I didn't know anything about racism? Except what I knew about racism was the color purple and things that I snuck and watched in like Chris Rock, Saturday Night Live rants and Eddie Murphy and that type of stuff. But in terms of personal experience, where would I get that from? So their answer to me was, unfortunately, Mark, we saw you getting physical with him, but we didn't hear any of the stuff that he said to you. So even if we want to believe you, that's hearsay. So we can't really go off hearsay, but we can go off of what we saw and what other people saw. And let me tell you how they handled that situation. I went, my mom does not know this. Maybe she still doesn't know this to this day. I might tell her. Um, when I got back to the school after the suspension, I went to the principal myself as like a 9 or 10 year old, whatever I was, myself to advocate for myself. And I said to the principal, you didn't punish him. So what if he just goes back to doing it again? And the principal says, well, number one, you don't know what we did or what conversations we had. I'm like, then tell me, because he knows that I was suspended. So, and I had to apologize to him. So why can't I know? Oh, that's personal, confidential information. Okay. So then they tell me, here's what you're going to do. Every time he says something to you, because they said we've instructed him not to talk to you at all. So if he says something to you, write it down on this piece of paper, and we have this specific box that we're putting in the classroom. Put the paper in the box, and then we will deal with it, right? So I was like, oh, great. Now they're going to know everything he said in exact words. I'm going to write it down. So he came right back to me as soon as he saw me again. You stupid N, this, that, and that, whatever. So I said, oh, okay. Took the paper, wrote it down, put it in the box, wrote the next one down, put it in the box. Nothing happened to him. And my adult brain, in retrospect, realizes that they basically were like, Mark is an aggressive boy, an aggressive, threatening boy. So what we're going to do is have him write the comments down so we can pacify him and make sure that he doesn't beat this kid up. Yeah, and Trisha, this is why I would love to have Taylor on my platform. Forget all the clout stuff. Obviously, I want to have the viewership, and I want to have, but I don't want people to come to my page just to come to my page. I could pivot and say things right now that would make more people come to my page right now. But A, it wouldn't be true to who Mark is as a person. And B, I want to put out things that are useful. I would love to have a conversation with Taylor. I'm going to say it again. I would love to have a conversation with Taylor. I would want to talk to her about how she's handling the newfound fame. I would want to talk to her about how she's dealing with the trolls who come into her comment section. I would want to talk to her about the difficulties in navigating a very public relationship that has so many people invested in it. I would like to talk to her about microaggressions. I would like to talk to her about my experience in school with bullying, which I didn't even realize. I used to think that bullying just meant getting beat up specifically. I didn't realize that the story that I just told you guys is actually bullying. So many things that I would love to just get her on here. I feel like my interview with her would be one of the best ones that you guys have ever seen. And I still hope that one day that gets to happen. It's the opposite for me. As somebody that fit that description, I received the maltreatment, threats to cut my hair, etc. Wow, I'm sorry you experienced that, Tammy. You are so blessed to have survived at school. When you think of children hanging out with white schoolmates and their families and coming up missing with the neurological risk. You know what hurts me about that situation too? I never told anybody anything about it in terms of classmates. It was just a buried thing that I just never talked about again. So I spoke to some of my white classmates about it in 2020 and told them about my experience. And their response was like, Oh, you do know that that guy has serious mental health issues, right? I feel sorry for him. I hope he gets the help that he needs. I was like, what? Excuse me? Um, Racism and mental health issues are not one and the same. So I could just say anything racist because I have a mental health diagnosis. I hate those people who sympathize. It's like when you get into those situations with the school shootings or different shootings that happen, and based on the demographics of the person who did it, the way they describe it is different. One is this person unfortunately has depression and serious mental health issues, and this other one is a dangerous criminal. Yeah, Trisha, I've always been that way. I have been that way since I was a child. I've always been somebody who tries to solve the problems. The first time I heard the N word, I was in an interrogated elementary school in a poor neighborhood. One of the students told the gym teacher her mother said they had to move away from. Oh, wow. That is something. Yeah, that's the thing. When you hear those things come out of the mouths of children, you know that they got it from their house because children are not born into this world like they're not born to hate. They're not born into hate like that. They had to have gotten it from somewhere. That's what I realized about that same kid from what I'm talking about. Yeah, but this is a whole other topic. This is definitely a whole other topic that I do want to address at some point as well. I'm gonna write this one down as well. But anyways, thank y'all to everybody who's on here. Thank you to everyone who supports me. Please hit the like button. Make sure to comment on this post. I need all y'all comments that were in here. Please drop a comment after the video posts and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Shout out to the replay crew whenever you get a chance to watch this. And where's my tiki torch? Like Jeff says on Survivor, this is what I'm saying to you trolls. The tribe has spoken. Your flame represents your life in this game. The tribe has spoken. Your time is up. Talk to y'all later.